Testing. 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 Okay. Testing the mic. Asparagus. Help. 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 Fuck. Testing. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's creamy, cheesy spinach pie. It's been brought to my attention that the title hasn't been changed, and I'm assuming that this is a glitch with Twitch. So I'm going to fix that right now. Is everybody there? So we could probably keep world class, but I'm going to change it to easy cheesy. Right off the bat, there's stuff going wrong, and I don't like it when days start that way. But I think we're probably okay now. Do you hear me? Yeah. So that was really more of a Twitch glitch. Howard Morrison says it's a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah, I guess that's what they call it. That's the more specific way to say it. Blood Snail says, I rewatched Dodgeball yesterday. I love you as the pirate guy in the movie. Amazing. not me. I wish every now and then I get mistaken for certain actors. I haven't seen the movie Silence of the Lambs, but apparently there's a gentleman in that movie that some people say that I'm a little bit like in real life. In fact, why don't I go ahead and dispel this particular rumor for you. I talked about it on my Thursday night stream, but I think it's probably worth repeating. Just waiting for a second here. I live in Southern California, and there's a lot of people here that are actors and all that kind of stuff. And every now and then, you know, your number comes up and somebody casts you in something, even if you're not necessarily an actor. But I'm gonna have to get that another time, because I think I don't want to put people to sleep here. Plus, we have a lot of cooking to do. So let me get back to work here. I'm going to start by saying that a lot of people have been on YouTube making comments about how I'm sort of a rock star, if you will, kind of the Led Zeppelin of cooking. And I just want to say, I cook. That's what I do. I'm good at it. I guess you'd call me a cooking explainer or a food explainer. I never got in this business because I wanted to be a rock star or because I wanted the fame and the fortune that goes along with being an amazing cook, like some of these people you'll see, like Gordon Ramsay or that other guy. You know, for me, it's all about the food and it's all about the cooking. And if I can do one thing right in my life, it would be to teach you, the people, how to cook the way that I do. And there's a very good quote from Irma Bombeck that I'd like to pull up right now, where she says, "When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left, but I could say I used everything you gave me." And you know, that's a little bit the way that I feel. You know, at the end of my life, I'll stand before God as naked as I was. No, that's weird, but the way that I was when I was put here, and I'll be able to say, I taught with the talent that you gave me, and I think that's a good thing. So hopefully that puts to rest any of these rumors that I got into the business for fame or fortune or any of that type of stuff, because it's not true. Icy Bergie just subscribed. Thank you, Icy Bergie. And sorry if I got a little serious on everybody's ass on that last thing, but it was something that I wanted to address. Beelzebub says, "Well said, Henry. Thank you." Cheese Slurp, would you cook for God? That's a good question. I wonder what I would make. Probably, I mean, the best meal that I've probably ever made was my chutney cheese weenie bites. So a couple of new subscriptions here. Slade Ward, thanks. And then Mr. Blister just gifted subs, and there's some characters there that I can't figure out exactly, but Azidnox. So thanks everybody. We got a lot of work to do. So Double-Edged Board says, "Will roast beef feel the same way?" Yeah, roast beef, who's probably going to be meeting God a little sooner than the rest of us. I'm not positive about that, and I don't like saying it out loud while he's here, but it's, you know, we all get one short little dance on this planet, and we got to make the most out of it. And by the way, roast beef is my cat for people just joining us. But let's go ahead and get started here. We got a lot of work to do. This is not a fun recipe, everybody. This is work. And so if you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon, but you want to make yourself a Sunday type brunch dish, this is a great dish for that. But it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be very difficult, and it's going to take a very long time. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I remembered I have to start the oven now at 350 degrees. 375. So preheat your ovens to 375 degrees. And let's talk a little bit about spinach. This is from the wikipedia.com. Spinach, jump to navigation. Oh, I printed this from Wikipedia, so it has a couple of things that might not make sense. Spinach, or Spinacea oleracea, is a leafy green flowering plant native to Central and Western Asia. It is the order Caryophyllales, family Amaranthaceae, subfamily Chenopodiidae. Its leaves are a common edible vegetable consumed either fresh or after storage using preservation techniques by canning, freezing, which is the one that we've used here today, or dehydration. It may be eaten cooked or raw. I don't know if I'd eat it raw. And the taste differs considerably. The high oxalate content may be reduced by steaming. Let's get into the etymology a little bit. Originally from the Persian Spinach, entering into the European languages by way of Latin, which received it from Arabic. The Hindi word palak also has its roots in Persian. The English word spinach dates to the late 14th century from espinache, or in French, épinard. So you might remember, I haven't made it on Twitch, but I think in one of my YouTube videos I made a dish called sag palak. So sag palak is basically a spinach dish from Persia, I believe, and it was okay. So let's go over see if there's any questions so far. Udfo114 says, why must cooking be so difficult? It's easier now probably than it was thousands of years ago, where humans that were living in caves and whatnot had to go out and kill a tiger or a bear or a chicken or something and then bring it back. Now we have a lot of tools at our disposal to facilitate the process, but I will say that it's not easy and it's not fun, but anything that's worth doing rarely is. So just kind of keep that in mind. Gonna need a cup of coffee for this one. I hope everybody's got their coffee. Thermagurg says microwave everything. That's not a bad option. Japai says, what's your favorite letter in the alphabet? Probably say S. Cormac YYC, I need a good vegan recipe that uses tiger meat. I'm not sure I've ever had tiger meat. Okay, but we have a lot of work to do, so let's do it. Let's start by going over some of our ingredients. We have here, oh, I like to just tell people what we're in for. This is going to be our spinach pie. And it's going to be very delicious, but it's going to be a lot of work. So here's what we're starting with. We've got our various cheeses, including some Philadelphia cream cheese. I've got some cheddar cheese, other type of cheese, and I think I've got an onion here somewhere. And then we've got our spinach, obviously. I've got canned veggies, several eggs. I have more in the fridge if I need to get more. Now, you're supposed to use a pie crust. The supermarket store that I went to that's close, really, I mean, I don't want to mention their name, but they kind of suck. This is the best that I could get toward pie crust. It's called pizza crust, which I think a pizza pie is still a pie, so it should suit our purposes. We're gonna need a pan to put our pie in, and I've also got our spices, some pepper, nutmeg, onion powder, salt, lemon juice, and this one, nutmeg. And I have other spices in the cupboard if we need to get, you know, some paprika or cumin or any of that kind of stuff. So, the Toilet Destroyer says, have you ever eaten pigeon? No, but I do believe it's a delicacy in some places. Archinick says, I don't have Philadelphia cheese. Can I use Detroit cheese? Yeah, any type of cream cheese is fine. Dragpipe says, can we open the can today? Or Draggy can we open the can today? Yeah, I had a little bit of difficulty, but I actually have a new can opener this time around that probably works much easier. So let's stretch a little bit. We've got our oven preheated. We've got our ingredients. We also have our skillet, which we'll be using periodically. So I'd say we're all pretty much ready to go. By the way, we have a couple of song requests that I'm going to get to a little later, probably while we're cooking. Number one, gently saute sweet onions in the butter in a large, deep skillet until translucent. So we've done that before, so let's go ahead and start by cutting our onion. Just clear out some of this extra shit. I think this is the onion. I like to kind of double up on the tinfoil to keep it fresh. Okay, that's not an onion. I should probably label these, but sorry, I don't want to waste anybody's time here. Okay, yeah, this is an onion. I'm gonna cut our onion here. There's a few methods that you can use when you're cutting your onion. For a long time, I used to just close my eyes because I didn't like getting the onion thing in my eyes. But at this point, I actually have some goggles that I'm going to be using, and I noticed that keeps it out of the. When I was cutting it while closing my eyes, I found myself cutting my finger a lot. So, if you can get some kind of goggles like this, I got this at the Home Depot. So let's grab a knife and let's just literally start cutting. I pissed a lot of people off on YouTube by cutting without peeling the onion first, but my philosophy on it is if you notice the peel comes off while you're cutting it, so it's really sort of like you're doing two types of work. And, you know, anytime you don't have to be doing work, you shouldn't be, I would say. Okay, that's pretty good. Maybe get a little bit more off the side here. Put that aside. There's still some good onion there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pack that up in our tin foil. to be used again. I'll put it in the fridge. All right, so might be able to cut these just a little bit more. So I don't know if I told people I'm originally from New Jersey, and I'll never forget when I was a kid, my brother was pretending he picked up a boulder and he was pretending like he was going to throw it at me, and he actually did throw it at me, and so it hit me in the head. My head started to bleed, and from that point on, my mom made me wear a helmet, which caused me to get a lot of social derision and scorn. Okay, let's go ahead and cut to our skillet. I'm going to put this thing up on, let's say, high. And we're going to need some butter. Of course, I don't have the amounts anymore. This is a little pet peeve of mine when I'm cooking with internet recipes. It literally says gently saute the sweet onions in the butter, but it doesn't say how much butter. So that's not very useful, but fortunately I've been doing this a long time, and chances are what they want is probably about 2 tablespoons of butter, because we're sauteing it, I guess would be the French pronunciation. So there's a, if you look on the side of any butter container, there's a thing that says how many tablespoons it is, so you can go, this is 4 tablespoons. I don't know if you can see that. So we're probably going to go ahead and just take half of whatever this butter. This half has a lot of trash on it, so I'm just going to take the clean half, and we will put our butter there. And then this we can put back in the fridge. Put a little bit of tin foil there. Okay. Oh, almost completely forgot. What did I just think of? I just thought of something that I almost completely forgot. Now I forgot it again, unfortunately. So let's let that butter swish around. You want to get it covering, oh sorry, I'm on the wrong, you want to get it covering all of, the sides of this thing are very, very hot, so you have to do it pretty quick. So let's go ahead and saute up our onions. Let those saute a little bit. Let's see, we've had some questions here. 2 table-sized spoons seems like a lot, but I'll trust you. Square squash. I want to make it clear that I'm talking about tablespoons, which are standard type of measurement like this. It has nothing to do with an actual table. Yaze, did you ever visit your grandma in jail? Yeah, we were able to visit her a little bit. My grandma and I used to make cookies when I was a little kid, and she would tell stories about how she used to be in jail, but I was very young when she was, so I don't even remember it really very well, but I think we did have some kind of visitation. This smells great, and I always like to tell people, if you ever want your neighbors to think that you're cooking, just start growing up some onions. Open up the window, open the door or whatever, and just start letting that onion aroma traverse the hallway of your apartment. Because I will say that chances are they're going to be like, oh, he's cooking, you know, even if you're not even cooking. But if you want them to think that you are, there's nothing else that they're going to think that you're doing, really. Okay. The air breather says, isn't that pollution, though? Talking about polluting the air with the onion aroma, maybe? I guess it could be. They should make air fresheners that smell like sauteed onions. Yeah, that's a great idea. I missed who said that, but that's a really good idea. That way you wouldn't even have to cook. Omega Fat Crab says, is the glasses for onions or shrapnel? It's for pretty much everything. It's also for smoke, and I'm highly recommending this. In fact, if there's a sponsor out there that manufactures these types of glasses, I am all over it. Because this is probably one of the better ideas that I've had in the kitchen. Couple of Meek says, will this dish be eligible? Edible. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, this is going to be delicious brunch for us. So now that we have our onions cooking up and smelling nice with some butter, you can't go wrong. I think it's time to go on to our next step here, which is we're going to add chopped. Gently saute sweet onions in the butter in large deep skillet until translucent, which I guess is translucent. I'm not sure what translucent is. Add chopped. It just says add chopped, but I think they mean add chopped spinach, I'm guessing. And stir constantly until the spinach has released its water and has collapsed. Okay? So let's do that now. I've got our chopped spinach. Watch out, guys. This is going to be very hot. So you want to put this in here until it releases water. Getting very smoky in here. Take it one quick step and Alright, I had to do a check on my cat because it's getting very smoky in here, but he seems to be okay, pretty much just sleeping. I think it's probably released a lot of water at this point. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to remove this from heat. So by remove from the heat, we're basically just going to turn this off. This thing sucks. Like, I don't know how... Okay, I pretty much have to unplug it every time I want to turn it off. But I got it at the Salvation Army, so... Not the ideal way to turn off an appliance. Okay, so we've removed that from the heat, and we're going to line a colander with cheesecloth. and pour in the spinach mixture. Okay, it looks like we have some kind of involved stuff here. I don't need this anymore because the onions are all cut up. So we're gonna line a colander with cheesecloth. I have a colander here. And cheesecloth, I guess they just mean any kind of cloth. I don't have cloth, but we could probably use paper towels. I think where they're going with this is that we're going to be wanting to strain our spinach and pull the corners of the cheesecloth and twist it to squeeze out all the water. Let it cool to room temperature. So I have a regular colander here. I think this is a European one, and then we have our, not cheesecloth, I'm just using a paper towel, but it should be fine. And so basically what we're doing is we're straining it. So it's the same way you would strain spaghetti. We're putting water, or we're releasing. You don't want any water in this dish. That's one of the things that's going to make it very rich and delicious, is that it's going to be lacking in water content. So it's a hard thing to do with two hands, so bear with me here. I just want to get one last really good scoop out of this. Maybe one more. See if there's any water coming out of the bottom there. Yeah, we got a lot of water out of it. I guess one of the reasons they want you to use a cheesecloth is that this paper towel, unfortunately, when it got wet, sort of got into our spinach a little bit. But that's okay. There we go. So we've got spinach. We're going to set this aside and go on to our next order of business here, which we're going to let that cool to room temperature. We've got the oven preheated. Now we're going to beat our cream cheese. So we're going to grab a mixing bowl and we're going to start putting in our cheese type ingredients here. Sorry. Here's this. Beat cream cheese. Oh wait, no. This is our cream cheese. Uh-oh. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I see a little bit of green on there. Right here. I don't like that. But then I'm thinking maybe that's just from the spinach. I don't like to mess around when it comes to green stuff. I'm gonna just take off that part of it. And I don't think I see any green on here. I'm gonna throw this away. Hold on a sec. That cream cheese was in there for a pretty long time. So I think that's what's going on there. A little bit of mold isn't bad, but I don't like to take my chances with it. So we removed it, and I think we averted whatever problem that might have been. Take a look here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be beating our cream cheese with some milk, which I have in the fridge. Probably about a quarter cup. And we've got some lemon juice pre-bought. Don't want to go too heavy on it. That's our lemon juice. We've got dry mustard. I didn't know what dry mustard was. For me, mustard's always been a liquid item, so why they would call it dry. But I've heard people refer to things like wine as being dry or something like that. But anyway, we're just going to put in a little bit of mustard. A lot of times you'll see these weird things in the recipes. Okay, so we've got some mustard. Now we're going to add in our eggs. I've got 4 eggs here. And fortunately we're putting in all of the egg. We're not separating the whites from the yolks because that is a huge pain in the ass, as we've seen in the past. So I've gotten pretty good at cracking these eggs. No shells, which is nice. Gonna wipe down my hands a little bit here. And now our spices, we're gonna need a little bit of nutmeg, and I'm just gonna guesstimate because again, this recipe doesn't tell you how much of everything is supposed to go in there. Got a little bit of onion powder. I would imagine that's an important one. Salt and our pepper. Next up, by the way, can you guys hear me okay? Ex Mortex says you can eat the shells for calcium. I didn't know that, but it makes sense because shells are a bone, and I know bones are big on calcium. Degree Scaffold, didn't you say liquid was bad for this dish? No, water is, but I don't know if liquid in general is bad. But yeah, you're right. There's going to be some water in our mustard. Whatever the hell dry. Alexa, what's dry mustard?
Here's something I found on the web. According to properlynskitchen.com.
It's too quiet.
Dry mustard is finely ground.
Alexa, volume 10. Alexa, what is dry mustard?
Here's something I found on the web.
That's too loud.
According to properlynskitchen.com, dry mustard is finely ground mustard seeds.
Yeah, and that's basically what I put in there. Yeah, if you look at the ingredients, it's water, mustard seed, distilled vinegar, salt, citric acid. So this is mustard seed, and I don't remember who it was that asked, but you're absolutely right. I did put a little extra water in there when I put mustard in there. So we can just, if the recipe says in the future add water, we just won't add water. And it should balance out. But I'm not too worried. I'm trying to go easy on myself today. It's been a rough couple of days. I've had some technical issues too. So I'm just sort of trying to realize that everything that happens today is going to be okay. And I hope you feel the same way. Okay, so let's start beating this stuff. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to grab a whisker, which I have here. This is a traditional one. And we're literally just going to start beating it. Beat it hard. The cream cheese, unfortunately, is going to be, it's going to give a little bit of a problem in terms of sticking to your whisker. But if you do this long enough and hard enough, eventually you'll be looking at a smooth, creamy mixture. And you can see that's already happening. There's some cream cheese lumps in there, but that's okay. Meanwhile, we can look at our next, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be stirring in our drained spinach and onion mixture and half of our cheddar cheese. So I'm going to be stirring this for a bit, so if you guys have any questions. Limpy says, can you microwave the mixture to help the cream cheese melt? I can, but unfortunately I used this kind of container, which was a bad idea because I can't put that in the microwave, I don't think. It's plastic. Limpy says, can you microwave the mixture to make the cream cheese melt? Oh, that's the same question I just read. Kiroslavia says, hey Henry, there's Mad Monk outside my house demanding dinner. What should I cook for him? A Mad Monk. So I guess that's, he lives near a monastery or something. That's interesting. I imagine everybody here is from different parts of the world. Armor Ant, would you say that not beating it hard enough is a problem? Yes, absolutely. You can see this is very lumpy, so this is going to be a little bit time consuming. Preheated my oven, now it smells like gas. That's name's Jeff 1. You want to make sure that it's actually heating with fire. Yikes! I don't know about that actually. My instinct would be to light a match, but actually now that I think about it, I think I've heard that if you smell gas of any sort, you don't want to. I can't remember. I guess you don't want to light a match. You should probably call your apartment superintendent or maybe the fire department. Bong Chung, how long is it a good time to beat it? I would say probably, well, there's not any specific time. I mean, I've sometimes had it where I was, you know, doing it for a long time, maybe an hour or so, but this, just until there's no lumps, basically. Let's see. Silly Sergey says, hey Henry, do you know what's the best way to get out of jury duty? Easy. You just tell them you have COVID. I actually had COVID a couple weeks ago, and I found that I was able to get out of doing a lot of things. There was a friend of mine that I was supposed to help move, and I said I had COVID, even to the point, and I guess it is a little bit unethical, but to the point where I started telling people I had COVID even after the fact. But don't do that. That's not a socially conscious thing to do. But if you do hate jury duty, you can always just say, hey, I got the COVID, I can't do it. There's really nothing they can say. What are they going to do? Although I have heard that they're starting to do COVID-only wards. I'm sorry, COVID-only jury duty. But then you're going to get a biased sample of people if you do that. So, all right, we're getting off topic. Next order of business is that we want to stir in the spinach and onion mix and our cheddar cheese. So, let's stir in our spinach. Not bad at all. I can smell the mustard, which is interesting. And then we want to get some cheddar cheese. That's our tomato again. That's not it. I know I have cheddar cheese here. very soft. Don't see any green on there, so that's good. Let's get our cheese grater, which I have here. And we're literally just going to grate the cheese into our mixture, like so. It's kind of breaking up a little bit, but that's okay. It's all going in the same place, right? Mrs. Porcupine, I only have a choice lesser. I'm worried that it'll come out as good. That went by really fast, so I wasn't able to see all of it. I didn't quite understand. Ezidanox, that's a Vietnamese colander. What I'm using right now, no, this is just, I think it's just a cheese grater. I'm not sure. Bevon, hey Henry, can I use grass from my lawn instead of spinach? I mean, a lot of people have gardens, you know, where you could use rosemary pricks or whatever's growing in your garden. But this is a spinach pie, easy cheesy spinach pie. So I think spinach is not hard to come by, you guys. So if you can, try to get the real proper ingredients. Okay, well, I don't know about easy, but we're definitely getting cheesy. Kookaroo says, is this organic? Yeah, I believe so. I don't think there's anything non-organic about it. Let's see here. NEQs, NEX, I would love to try spinach, but I hate it. Yeah, no, I hate spinach too, but I think if you mix it with enough other stuff, like cheese, then that way you get the green coloring, and I believe that there's some nutrients. Uh-oh. There's a little paper towel in there, unfortunately. But, okay, so this is a little more watery than I would have hoped. But that being said, I think that what we're looking at here is pretty cool. Now, we're going to do the hard part. Have a little bit of coffee. We're going to have to lay down our pie crust. So, I have here the Pillsbury pizza crust, which, you know, ideally you'd be doing pie crust, but I don't even know where you open this thing. Start here. See if you guys can get a visual on this. Start here. Pop, press, peel. Oh, come on. Is this going to be another one of these types of things? Does anybody use these? I'm kind of stumped here a little bit. I don't use this particular type of thing. It says peel. Oh, okay. That's working. Pressed. Oh, shit. That literally just popped. Kind of scared the hell out of me. Okay. So, we've definitely got some kind of situation here. I'm going to get, this is our pie tin, if you will. I don't have an actual pie tin. But you know, this is very dirty. So I think I'm going to maybe line it with some tin foil. I want to have all of this covered up completely, because I got this pie tin as a gift one time. It was many years ago, so since then there's probably remnants of just about every single type of dish on it, and so I don't want that to taint what we're doing here. Maybe I'll add a little bit of oil. I have some avocado oil, and this is going to prevent the sticking. Okay, now let's start laying this down. Smells good. Smells like a pizza restaurant. Like, what in the fuck? I don't understand what is supposed to happen here. Okay. So that came out. Guess we're gonna do a little bit of a pizzeria type move here. Flatten it out. You know, they say that the reason that pizza tastes good in New York is because they've got all these chemicals in the water, like chlorine and bromine, iodine, I think, arsenic, and all kinds of things that make pizza taste good. I don't think they're good for you to drink, but they definitely make for some good pizza crust. Ketamine, I think Karaslavius just said. And Prince Kenny says, where can I learn to knead with such technique? After you've made, I'd probably say I considered myself to be an amateur in the kitchen until after I made my first pizza. It's really kind of the ultimate food in a way, because you're kneading dough, but you're also slicing veggies, you're dealing with meat products and all kinds of stuff. I'm getting a little bit tired of this crust situation. I kind of want to just sort of get going. One unfortunate thing is that this crust is tiny, so it's not going to cover. I guess it's made for just an individual pizza or whatever. So I'm going to try to make a rim here and get going. We've got songs to do. By the way, I want to thank everybody who joined me on Thursday night for my game night. I had a lot of fun playing Cooking Simulator, and I've gotten better at it, so I'm going to do it again this Thursday. But I also have a very special guest who's going to join me on Thursday night as well. So, a lot of fun stuff going on there. All right, so what we have here is basically a little mini pie crust. I'm sorry about that. I thought that what I bought was a full pizza crust, but apparently I bought some kind of small thing. But that's okay, because I'm basically just serving myself and my cat, so there's not a lot of worry. Let's take a look at our next order of business here. We've beaten the cream cheese. We want to pour this into our pie shell. We're going to pour our mixture into our pie shell, and we're going to bake it for 35 minutes until the center is set. So let's do it. I don't even know if I'm going to wind up using all of the ingredients here. Yeah, this is unfortunate. I have a lot more ingredients here than we have pie crust, but we're gonna, you know what, actually I believe that the pie crust is going to expand, so I'm not too worried about that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and put this in our oven. We're gonna put it in there for 35 minutes. Maybe this would be a good time to take some music requests. Something fell out of the bottom there. Shit. Got it. Okay, Alexa, set timer for 35 minutes.
35 minutes, starting now.
I've always liked to say that if you are doing any cooking, and this is something that you won't see if you're watching Gordon Ramsay or any of these other sort of personalities in TV or whatever, you got to have something to pass the time in between while you're waiting for stuff to cook or to chill. So for me, I like playing guitar. I like doing songs. You know, I like games also. Games might be your thing. You might want to do pottery or maybe make phone calls to your family. But there's a lot of things that you can do while you're waiting for food to mature. Let me see if we have some requests here. Specifically, I got so many damn pages here. Okay, Grizzly Gray Bear wanted to hear a classic song and a real party getter type song. By a group called Kansas, and I think I did it once before, but it's a great song to do on a Sunday afternoon when you're just sort of thinking about life and stuff like that. It's called Dust in the Wind. Let's see if tuning it there. My hands are buttery. Getting butter all over everything. Puzzled Funk, the true party anthem. Yeah, you show up to a party with an acoustic guitar, start playing this song, you're everybody's best friend. That, and if you have marijuana, I guess. But here we go. I close my eyes only for a moment, and the moment's gone. All my dreams pass me in my eyes in curiosity. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. It slips away crumbles to the ground though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. Hold on, let's see if I can. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Don't hang on. That's a good inspirational message. Don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away, and all your money won't another minute buy. Dust in the wind. All you are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. All you are is dust in the wind. Hacklin says there's a smell of gas coming from my neighbor. I think his name is Jeff. Now I hear an explosion and a scream. What are you gonna do? Doesn't matter. It's all dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Thanks, the Token Avenger, for gifting one sub. All you are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind. So that was a song that went out to Grizzly Gray Bear. Thanks for the suggestion. Along the lines of sort of party songs, thanks DVAX for subscribing. Let's see, He Refuses. Why do they call it oven when you in the cold food of out hot eat the food? I'm not sure. But yeah, as long as we're keeping the party going with the sort of up-tempo classics, why don't I do this one that was a request that we got from somebody named Notorious Jer, and that was on the Discord channel. Discord, of course, is where you'll be able to make song suggestions, recipe suggestions. You can show me what your food looks like. There's some amazing fan art on there, and there's some of the people that I'll mention a little bit, some of the moderators set that up, and I just couldn't thank you enough for that, because it's really been a lot of fun for me to keep contact with people that way. So let's go ahead and do this classic from several years ago. I believe it first appeared on the maybe on the tuna fried rice video, or one of those. Maybe it was Southwestern egg rolls, but it's a song by an artist named Jose Suicidio. Hottest Bear just resubscribed for 3 months. Thank you, Hottest Bear. And here we go. I think, oh wait, there's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with I try to reach out to my family. They say they don't have time for me. All my friends never talk to me. All I get is voicemail. I try to watch TV. It only frightens me. Everyone's screaming and yelling and fighting in the street. I put some pizza in the microwave. Forgot about it for several days. When it was done, I just threw it away. That means there's something wrong with me. All the kids in the neighborhood tell me I don't look so good. How I would change it all if I could, but I just can't seem to. Every day used to be such possibilities. Now every road that I take leads to sadness and despair. Every day used to be such possibilities. Now every road that I lead is to sadness and despair. There's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. We had a little visitor on that last song there. This guy, I don't know if he's got some kind of itching problem, but he spends most of his time just scratching and then thinking about life. Alexa, how much time is left?
You have 23 minutes left on your 35-minute timer.
It's quite a bit of time there. So, Super Poop says, what type of strings do you use? These are called Ernie balls. Markov Coombe bot just subscribed. What is the cat's name and what are you feeding it? Florin. The cat's name is Roast Beef, and I feed him some kind of, it's sort of a fishy kind of a tuna type casserole type thing. Let's see if I can get a better shot on him here actually. He's very old. He's 15 years old, and he's got a little bit of a twitch. No pun intended, of course. But we've got. I like to. You know, if you look at a cat for long enough, you can start having some really deep conversations with yourself. I'd say for the most part, I guess he's not in the mood. Fish Shipple, thank you very much. Well, let's see, any other requests for songs? Why don't I do this song, I did it last week and it was a little bit of a hit and I thought it was a good song. It's by a band called Ween. Very difficult for me to see here. It's called Ocean Man. Ocean man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Ocean Ocean man, the voyage to the corner of the globe is a real trip. Ocean man, the crust of a tan man imbibed by the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean man, can you see through the wonder of amazement at the Oberman? Ocean man, crust is elusive when it casts forth to the childlike man. Ocean man, sequence of a life form braised in the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean man. Ocean man. John Lovett's Admirer. Highwayman intro. Okay, so this is a Dr. Blasty Stick says tell roast beef my cat said hello. Roast beef? Dr. Blasty Stick's cat says hello. Highwayman, keep on doing the best you can. Another night, another one night stand. I love you, Highwayman. Little TV theme song for you there. Nick Drake, Pink Moon. I want to say I had so many technical issues in the last couple of days, and I've been trying to get a gaming setup, which you'll see on Thursday and maybe a little bit on Wednesday too. That it's been very difficult for me to learn a lot of the songs that I've never heard before, but I will. So please keep those requests coming, especially on the Discord, because then I can refer back to them. This was somebody just requested this. XXX Random Plebe XXX just requested a Johnny Cash song, and I'm gonna try to do it. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all. My empire of dirt. Getting the chords wrong. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. It's a nice song. My empire of dirt. Okay. See if there's a couple more requests here. Cayman Wati just described Give Me a Break theme song for the Toilet Destroyer. Give Me a Break theme song. I feel like I should remember that one because I knew a lot of Give Me a Break, I Sure Deserve It, It's the Time. No, I don't remember that one, I'm sorry. Brother Man Bill is one that I'm getting a lot of requests for, so I'm going to have to learn that one, so I will. Too Many Cooks. Yeah, I remember seeing that video. I'm going to have to learn that one too. Going to keep going until I see one that I already know. Oh, Crashfort wants to hear a song called Uber by Jose Suicidio. She says she wants to Uber home now, 'cause you're just not her type of guy. But she just wants to be your friend, and if she meets her Mr. Right, then maybe you could help her move her stuff when she moves in with him. But now she just wants to Uber home. Seem to have a situation. She says it's not that you're not handsome, you're just not her type of guy. She's got better things to do than to hang around with you. She's got better ways she'd rather spend her time. She just wants to Uber home. Boy, that guitar. I think the reason that my cat roast beef was going crazy is that my guitar is very out of tune. That, and I think I need to clean the litter box. But I'm not going to do that until I'm done with the stream here, because that would not be good entertainment. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 14 minutes left on your 35-minute timer.
Okay, we got time for maybe a couple more songs here. Maybe we'll go ahead and, I think we could probably go ahead and watch a video. If I have this set up correctly. This is a video I showed the other night, on Thursday night, and it's been on YouTube for a long time, but what I think is particularly good is that this couple is very good at making videos. I don't know how this is going to work, but let's see here. We got to get some volume. I don't know if you can hear that or not. You're unable to hear that? Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. Let's see, I'm not sure why that would be. I don't want to spend too much time trying to troubleshoot this. It's already hard enough to do in the kitchen. Oh, I think I know what it is. Here, I'll get it. I did one of these updates on the Mac, and it just pretty much just destroyed the whole computer. I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to ask you if the sound is working, and if it's not, then we're going to do something else. Are you able to hear the sound? Still no sound. And then some people saying yes. Okay. But there's more no's. Okay, so we're not going to do that. The video is called Who Needs a Movie? You can find it really easily. and I'm gonna figure out I spent so much time working on my food preparation here today. I didn't really make sure that all of my technical stuff was up to snuff. But let's go ahead and do another song here. You guys hear me okay now, though, right? You do hear me. Okay, so Maybay support said, huh. And People Audio guy said no. So I'm seeing a lot of, okay. I'm just gonna hope that you guys can hear me. Let's go ahead and do an up-tempo song. Does anybody out there have one that's a little bit more up-tempo for us? Because I feel like we're kind of depressing everybody with a lot of what's happening here. Oh, and I also figured out what the problem was with that other thing. Do you hear me now? Oh, Sound of Silence? Okay, that might be a good one. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. Because a vision softly creeping left its seed while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains with the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walk alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Hear my words that I might reach you, something evident lays and dear. But the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, and the sound of silence. All right. Well, I think we're getting pretty close to pulling something out of the oven. I'm very sorry about my cat. I did a lot of things wrong this morning. I didn't check some of the technical stuff, and I also didn't clean my cat's kitty litter before doing the stream. So he's trying to express his general disgust at me. And I don't blame him, because, you know, when you can't go to the bathroom, it's a very uncomfortable situation, not only for you, but for everybody else in the room. So, okay. Let's see. So you guys hear me okay now? Okay. Ty Lower says, still one of the most prepared streamers. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Crosskip just resubscribed. Thank you, Crosskip. We're just about there. I want to say some thank yous to some of the people, starting with Roast Beef, who make these possible. Thanks, Dicko. Dicko, I think is how you pronounce it. It sounds funnier than it looks, but I want to start by thanking the moderators who came forward at a very special time in my life when I started twitching. And their names in no particular order are Dingo Bop, Fawcan, Dom Beef, Hottest Bear, Do Dingle, Dogoggy, Dr. Flanges, and Bacchus. I also want to thank Sir Doom, who introduced me to Bumblevision and the LGX, and also Daisy Blossom, and also Melon95, Pilskman, my friend Bill Larkin Music, who gave me a lot of inspiration. He's got an amazing channel. I watch it all the time. And I always have to make sure I say a very special thank you, because if it weren't for Nim, then I wouldn't be doing any of this. This is just somebody who started sending a lot of followers to my YouTube channel, and then we reached out to each other and eventually collaborated on not only cooking, but we also did some game stuff last Sunday, and that was very nice. Mr. Frozo Yazdez says, is your body also twitching? Yeah, a little bit. Oh yeah, and I also want to thank some of these major streamers like XQC, Moon, Forsen, and Emaru recently, and these other people who have been showing my videos on their streams, and that's getting a lot of people here, and so I appreciate that. XX Diaper Baby says you're welcome. Asterath the Grim says Moon and Forsen. Buddy, you're ruining the stream. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, because this is a little bit more of a problem than he usually is. I'm starting to wonder if he's starting to have moments of anger at the overall futility of life in general. I certainly he loves the sounds like he loves the smell of cheese. Sounds like he's talking. Cold Hand 42 says, I'm done with this shit. I do that when Fritz Stein, I do that too when I'm angry. Yeah, no, I think he's just kind of had enough of this kitchen shit, and I don't blame him. Alexa, how much time is left?
You have 4 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 35-minute timer.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take it out anyway. Let's just get this. Let's get this out, because I think that roast beef is getting very upset, and I don't like to see him too distressed. I will say that he's very old, and he's starting to have probably little pains, and you're not allowed to give cats painkillers the way we would humans. So that's not something that I want to do. Actually, somebody said that maybe I should give him food. I'm going to do that for a second here. Hold on. You can look at our final result here, and I'm going to go ahead and try giving him a little food here and see if that helps. Here you go, buddy. Actually, I think that might have been a good idea, because it also occurred to me I hadn't fed him in a little while. Cormac YYC, roast beef was trying to warn you about this. Peristosis, has anyone ever asked you what you want to play? Limpy says, I think roast beef might be possessed by a demon. I think that's what it sounded like, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it could be that he feels exploited by me using him on my streams, and that's certainly a thing. Jakob says, do you think your cat is seeing ghosts that you can't? Yeah, it could be that he's seeing dead people, or maybe trying to warn me or something like that. But either way, we've got work to do. So I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 35-minute timer.
We did it, guys. I'm going to set up the camera here for a little bit of a what they call a money shot in cooking. You can see inside there a little bit. It's going to be exciting. I could see a couple of people. Miss Erica says this is going to be delicious. I sure hope so, because I'm starving. And Just for a little update, I want to let people know that that roast beef, it did turn out that he was just hungry. His bowl was empty, and I should have made sure that it was full, but he seems to be a little bit more chill right now. Epps Ray says, "Never Gonna Give You Up." Oh, that's a good song. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that. Never give you up. Chords. I've never tried it, but I grew up with that song. There's really no way to get Rickrolled when you're actually trying to search for Rick. That's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Turn around and desert you. I'm never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna turn around and desert you. Alexa, stop. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been acting, but you're too shy to say it. I don't know the verse part. That's all I know. So, okay, thanks for that suggestion. I don't even remember who said it. The DJ Bunton says, "Fuck you." Oh, Lily Allen. Oh, yeah, that's a great song from... Oh, yeah, and Epps Ray said, "Never Gonna Give You Up." So, yeah, the Lily Allen song, I'll try to learn that one eventually also. But right now, we've got some deliciousness to explore here. So, let's see what we've got. Again, this is our easy cheesy spinach pie. Now, that's not the one that I'm making here, but that's the picture on the recipe. So we want to make sure we use an oven mitt for this. Stop. Oh, it smells delicious. It actually smells kind of pizza-y, if you can imagine that. Okay. I'm going to be the first to say that it doesn't exactly look like what the picture is, but one thing I want to say about these pictures is that I'll show you again. Okay, yeah, it looks beautiful. It's got this sort of rim on it, and then they had a proper pie tin, and but you can see that they put leaves in the background and eggs and all kinds of fancy bowls and stuff, and that's trick photography. There's nobody's food that's going to actually come out that perfect right from the oven. They also use some things to make the color better. As a matter of fact, I think I might have the control to do that on mine. If you'll bear with me for a second here. I think I can add some saturation and a couple of other sort of special techniques so that I can get mine looking a little bit more like theirs. So, you know, whatever. If you try to imitate what you see on the internet, you're going to be disappointed probably 100% of the time. So this is very hot. Why don't we go ahead and grab ourselves a plate and a fork and put on our goggles because there's a little bit of steam coming out of this. But let's go ahead and plate it. So here we go. I want to make sure I get some of that pizza crust, because that looks like the best part. I'm glad I greased it down with avocado oil. Hopefully there's no more paper towel. But you know what? I'm going to call this another success. It's very hot. But, you know, look at that plate. It's pretty awesome if you ask me. So, let's go ahead and take some bites into this thing. See if anybody's got, yeah, Lizard says this one was a big winner. I think you're right. Easy Cheesy never misses. That's from Stufayev. Quirky Parasocial, that's the best I've cooked. I don't know about that. I've made some pretty good recipes over the years, but this one definitely, as soon as it cools down a little bit, we're going to taste it and see. Scuffy Munkle says just like the recipe, and it's like grandma's cooking. Yeah. Wow, a lot of positive comments here. Thank you so much. Astro Wrath the Grim says it ain't easy being cheesy. I heard that. And you know what? You can see there's a lot of spinach going on here and a little bit of mustard and stuff, and these are all things that are good for you. Yeah, my dead grandma probably would make something like it. Silicon. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother. But yeah, it's healthy, spinachy, very hot because it just came out of the oven. I'm getting to be a little bit like roast beef in terms of the hunger factor, and I'm sorry that you all had to see what happens when he doesn't eat, but he makes it very clear. But I'm a little hungry myself, so it's cheesy, cream cheesy, and grated cheddar, but we also used a coriander to take some of that water out of the spinach. And I can taste the mustard and I can taste the onion. Broken Stroked. Me and my ex-wife used to make something for the kids, but haven't seen them in a couple of years now. Fork Tongue says, nothing wrong with too much spinach. Yep, it's good for you. More 5 says 90% water is good for you. Yeah, most water is good for you. That 10% is not so great. Dicko says I would... I missed it. Water's healthy. All right. It's going by pretty fast. Erotica Reading Rabbi says, do you sell kitchen glasses? No, these aren't for sale, but these are... that's a good idea. I think I would like to get in bed with somebody who manufactures glasses for the kitchen. Reminds me of the meal I fed my hamster before he passed away. DJ Bunton. Yeah, it does have sort of an animal food thing. I think that's because of all of the greens involved. And of course, I adjusted the hue on that a little bit to try to approximate our, I guess you would call it our goal. But, you know, they cheat a lot with the photography on that stuff, so... I think I've got brunch for the day. And I want to thank everybody for putting up with a lot of technical things this time. Oh, I can't believe I almost didn't thank Quanto, Quanto, who is the one who is responsible for these amazing transitions that happen, which is one of the only things that pretty much always goes well. And thank you, Quanto. The transitions are reminiscent of the Henry's Kitchen YouTube videos, and I'm just blown away. And the same with the subscribe alerts as well. Thank you, Quanto, for so much technical help. And for everybody who's offered technical help. I don't know if I mentioned Pilskman and Melon95 as well, and Daisy Blossom. Sometimes it's easy to miss names, and I don't like to do that because it takes a village to make food, and people need to be credited where credit is due. The DJ Bunton says, reminds me of the meal I fed my hamster before he passed away. Oh, I already read that one. Limpy says, do you edit your own YouTube videos? Yeah, there's a program called iMovie that you can use. Udval 14, another successful dish that most high-level chefs couldn't dream of pulling off. Yeah, I think this one came out great. It's basically mostly spinach, I think. And you can't really go wrong with that. It's going to be healthy. All right. Kind of done eating it for now, but I'm going to have plenty left over. There you have it. Yeah. Astral Unicorn says don't puke. There was something. Wow, somebody wrote a long thing. Although you're really a chilled laughter sort of, you help people, and I've been trying to be active to take my mind at all. When you're unable to go out, I relax to stream. Chat for always, making me laugh. Love to you all. Thank you very much. And I missed the name on that, but that was a lot of good stuff. It's hard to read in real time. But, all right. Well, we definitely made the food part happen today. I had a couple of technical issues, and I apologize for that. Also, I want to let you know that as the technical aspects get worked out a little bit better, it's going to give me more time to focus on what I really do well, which is cooking. And I also want to get to more of your song suggestions and be a little better about that. So I can't tell you how happy I am that everybody joined me today. It's Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, as the case may be, or your early morning if you're in Europe or Australia, or tomorrow. But yeah, just let's all try to do the best that we can, because that's all we can do. And you know, let's I'm gonna take the glasses off here. Be good to ourselves, and I'll see you on Wednesday at 11 a.m. I've got quite a bit of cleanup to do here, as I'll show you in a second here. This is what I have to do every time, basically. Clean up just tons of shit. So it's not like I'm slacking off here. It's like I said in the beginning, cooking is a lot of work. It's not necessarily fun or even rewarding all the time, but it's one of those things that we have to do in order to survive. So we just you know, put on a happy face and get to work. So all right, well, thank you everybody for joining me, and I'll see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. with a whole new dish. I think it might be time to get another dessert dish in there, maybe some fudge brownies, or maybe a fun cake. We'll see. But and then Thursday night I've got my late night variety hours stream where there's no there's no cooking. There's just extracurricular activities, games, and songs and whatnot. And I have a very special guest joining me Thursday night. So, okay, thanks everybody, and enjoy the upcoming week.